I've been diving deep into modded Skyrim this past month as I put together my own personal mod list. Skyrim modding can go in a lot of different directions to match a variety of different tastes, but no matter what your taste, these are the mods that I would recommend anyone to try, as to me they just make Skyrim feel better. The first mod is a boring one to talk about, but it's also, in my opinion, the most essential mod for any Skyrim player. SSE Display Tweaks allows you to run Skyrim above its default 60 FPS cap without breaking any of the game's physics. More important than that though, it makes Skyrim feel significantly smoother to play, even if you don't get a significant FPS boost. It's a mod that'll stand out a lot more in person than it will on a compressed YouTube video, but even still, you can see a huge difference. It's worth noting that any ENB you use might have a separate frame limiter enabled in your ENB settings, so if you want more than 60 FPS, you'll want to turn that off as well. Our second mod is criminally underrated in my opinion, which is Difficulty MCM. This mod allows you to adjust Skyrim's difficulty on the fly, and it also allows you to save those changes to each of the game's difficulty presets. The beauty of this mod is that you can tailor Skyrim's difficulty to your exact taste. Whether you want combat to be easy or hard, fast or slow, you can tweak just a couple of settings to get it feeling exactly how you want it to. In vanilla Skyrim, as you increase the difficulty, you deal less damage but receive more damage. I personally like to speed up Skyrim's combat by setting both my damage dealt and received around the 1.5 to 2 times range. This keeps enemies dangerous, but also lets me dispose of them pretty quickly. Coming in at number 3, we have Experience paired with Leveling Freedom. Experience overhauls the way that you level up in Skyrim and comes with a highly configurable MCM. By default, you'll gain experience from killing enemies, clearing dungeons, discovering new locations, and completing quests. You can even gain small amounts of experience by reading books for the first time. Skyrim's default leveling system is based entirely off of leveling skills, which can vary significantly depending on how many skills you're using. For example, a warrior using just two-handed weapons and heavy armor is going to level their skills at a significantly different pace than an assassin who's dabbling in a variety of skills like sneak, lockpicking, archery, illusion, and alchemy. The experience mod's change to leveling makes a lot of different builds more viable, and it makes leveling feel more natural. It also makes training significantly more valuable because it won't increase your player level, which I love. I've personally reconfigured the default settings so that I receive XP from completing quests and increased XP per kill, but no experience from discovery or dungeon clearing. It's also worth noting that XP gain from enemies varies significantly based on the power of the enemy, so slaying a powerful creature like a giant feels properly rewarding. I also highly recommend pairing experience with a mod called Leveling Freedom, which comes with its own MCM to reconfigure how much experience is required to level up in Skyrim. In vanilla Skyrim, this value is 75 XP plus 25 XP per player level, which makes leveling take significantly longer as you level up. I've personally been enjoying the recommended value, which is 300 XP plus 10 XP per level, which slows down the early levels significantly, but also prevents leveling in the late game from turning into a slog. For our next mod, we have Wheeler, paired with its Elder Creed reskin. In my opinion, one of Skyrim's biggest flaws is the constant need to open up different menus which pause the game in the process. It creates a jarring stop-and-go feel, which can get really annoying at times. Wheeler provides a simple solution by adding a new customizable menu that slows time rather than pausing it. It's essentially a better alternative to Skyrim's favorites menu, and I absolutely love it. You can customize the number of slots in a wheel and the number of wheels total, as well as easily swap between them. Whether you're switching equipment, spells, or drinking a potion, Wheeler makes it easy to perform a variety of different tasks without breaking the flow of combat. Next up is my favorite mod in all of Skyrim, which is Ultimate Animated Potions NG. This fantastic mod gives potions a proper animation both for first and third person. I personally pair this with a separate mod called Apothecary to make potions heal over time rather than all at once. Ultimate Animated Potions finally fixes one of Skyrim's most flawed systems, which is the ability to pause the game and drink as many minor healing potions as you want. This makes higher level potions feel properly valuable, and it encourages you to put a little distance between yourself and your opponent before drinking a potion right in front of them. First-person enjoyers don't get a lot of love from Skyrim mods, which is part of why Ultimate Animated Potions is one of my favorites. But another great addition for first-person Skyrim is Improved Camera SE. This mod significantly improves first-person immersion by allowing the player to see their body when they look down, as well as see a variety of other interactions in first person. Smithing at the forge or hopping into the carriage will play through the first-person camera, and all of these different interactions look fantastic. I originally installed this mod just for the odd occasion where I'd be able to see my own legs instead of some empty space, but I quickly found that I actually enjoyed the new first-person interactions a lot more. This is one of the best immersion mods out there, and it really makes you wonder why it wasn't in Skyrim by default. For our 7th mod, we have camera noise. This mod is actually really subtle, but I'll also show you what it looks like with the settings cranked in case you don't notice what it's doing. Camera noise adds a subtle camera shake to both first and third person to make the player camera feel more natural. If you're having trouble noticing any difference with the default settings, look at one of the corners of your game and you'll notice a small amount of movement rather than the zero movement that you would get in vanilla Skyrim. I personally keep this mod at its original settings, which makes the player camera feel more natural without any jarring movements. Moving on to number 8, we have Smoothcam. Smoothcam is an incredible mod for Skyrim's third-person camera that comes with a highly configurable MCM. It also includes options for a new style of third-person aiming, which finally makes archery in third-person not only feel usable, but also really fun. Rather than configuring the camera yourself, most people will probably want to go the same route as me, which is to just download a variety of Smoothcam presets and find out which ones feel best to you. I'll compare the looks of two very different presets, for example, which is Vanilla Enhanced 2 and the Eras preset. Vanilla Enhanced 2 is a bit offset to the left without any dramatic changes to the camera. It's a really solid preset that doesn't do anything crazy, and I'd recommend at least trying it out for anybody new to Smoothcam. The Eras preset is a dramatic change to camera perspective, moving the camera significantly lower, which makes the player and combat feel more grounded. I really enjoy this preset for melee combat, but otherwise I still enjoy Vanilla Enhanced a lot more. Following up Smoothcam, we have another improvement to Skyrim's third person with better third person selection. If you've ever found yourself switching from third to first person just to pick something up, better third person selection is the solution. This mod allows you to pick up items and interact with objects more easily in third person by providing an additional area to your selection range, which is highly configurable through the mod's MCM. When multiple items are in range, you can also scroll between them without moving your crosshair by using customizable hotkeys. I've found that this mod makes looting and interacting in third person significantly easier, and so far I haven't stolen anything by accident, which has really been my only concern. I would personally recommend lowering the max angle a decent amount in the MCM, as I found the default settings to be a little bit excessive. Another bonus with this mod is the ability to easily interact from horseback, which has its own separate interaction settings. Just be aware that this mod does make it so that you have to hold your interact key to dismount from your horse, since pressing it is used for other interactions. In the 10th spot, we have immersive equipment displays. Vanilla Skyrim only displays items that are actively equipped on the player. For example, switching from a bow to a sword will remove the bow from your back, and vice versa. Immersive equipment displays solves this by displaying any equipment favorited by the player, even if it isn't actively equipped. For example, you can have multiple weapons, a bow, arrows, and a shield all displayed on your character at the same time. If you go absolutely crazy with this, it can get a little bit absurd, but there are other mods that you can add on to fix this. This mod also has the ability to install different presets and apply them to yourself or to NPCs, like Mura's preset, which will automatically display potions from your inventory based on the largest health, magicka, and stamina potion available. I originally didn't expect to care much about this mod, but after playing with it for a while, I really wouldn't want to play without it. While that does it for the 10 mods, I also wanted to throw in a couple of super small mods that I really enjoy. Classic Sprinting Redone makes sprinting hold the sprint rather than a toggle, which to me makes sprinting feel a lot more natural. I also pair this with the Better Jumping SE mod to allow for jumping while sprinting. It is worth noting that without a mod that adds a stamina cost to jumping, you can b-hop around like Foon, which might be a plus depending on your playstyle. Even though they're only minor tweaks, these two mods make Skyrim's movement feel so much better to me. And that does it for the video. This is my first modded Skyrim video, and while I'm sure it's not perfect, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any requests for what you'd like to see next, or if you want to leave any mod suggestions for me to check out, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.